Good morning, curious coders. This is Dan with Code Club, and the last video I introduced you to the Espruino. This is a microcontroller that we can talk to with JavaScript. Today we're going to talk about the buttons and watching them for input. Last time we played with the lights and we played on and off. So you'll see here in the Espruino IDE where we still have that on and off functionality, but we've given the function a name called flip light. And that flip light function is available from the command line over here. As a reminder, make sure you send your program over there so we can flip the light on from the command line here. We can also flip it off. Now what we also did is I added a toggle blinker, which basically says if we've got this interval going that turns the light on and off every 50 seconds. This is a little bit more convoluted than it needs to be, but effectively what we're doing is we're turning the blinker on and off, and we're just using this flip light switch to do the work for us. So we're checking if the blinker exists. If it doesn't exist, we're going to turn it on. We're going to set this interval. If it does, we're going to clear it and say don't do that. Make sure that the light is turned back off at the end of this. Now the real magic here is this set watch function. Now I want to talk a little bit about where I learned some of this stuff. So this is the Espruino documentation, and if you go to espruino.com/reference, it'll actually introduce you to the 4 different kinds of boards. This is our board, the original Espruino. They've got the Pico, which is in fact very, very tiny, and the Puck, which is a little bit larger but has a nice silicone case to it, so you can do lots of interesting things. It's got an infrared reader. But here is the real important stuff, and this is the software reference. So JavaScript has a lot of built-in functionality, but we need a little bit more than that to talk to our board. In this case, the function that we want to focus on is set watch. So we're going to watch a button. And in this case, the button is called a pin, because if you're looking at the board, the button is actually just wired in on one side to a power source and on the other side to a pin, or one of these tiny little holes. And so we're going to tell the board to pay attention to when there's current coming through one of those circuits. And they all get names. In this case, our name happens to be button 1. That's the name of that pin. So what we're going to do is we're going to set a watch. And toggle blinker is what we're going to do when button 1 changes. Now these last options here tell it that this happens more than once. This happens anytime the button is pressed. And this happens to be the event. This is the button rising is when we're going to capture our event. Now we can turn on and off the blinker manually, and you can see that it turns the blinker on. So we're going to toggle it, and you'll see it behaves properly. We have a print statement in there to basically tell us, hey, the blinker is on, the blinker is off. And now when we have the set watch function in there, we can actually do that from the button. So that's this button right here. That is our button 1. So when I hit button 1, it turns the blinker on. When I hit it again, it turns it off. So that is the beginning of interactivity with an Espruino board. And you can imagine you can break down a lot of complicated behavior into small behaviors. And in this case, we've only got 2 buttons and 3 lights, but we'll have more things in the future like thermostats. And in particular, I have an LED screen around here somewhere that I ordered for this that we'll be able to put output on the screen. It's a small screen. But now we've got the basic elements of interactivity. As I said last time, go out and get yourself an Espruino and start playing. It's pretty cool.